What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Jeremy Wormy, and I'm coming at you with another installment of the G Gundam reviews. That's right, another installment of G Gundam reviews. I'm excuse me, I'm really enjoying this. This is the first episode of the first official match of the tournament, the World Tournament, and I sat back throughout this whole episode, and I just bathed in something that I watched as a young kid. I bathed in this episode that I could remember bits and pieces of, but I can remember some scenes so vividly and so specifically. I remember the characters, I remember the moments, and it brings you back to a simpler time. A time before all the nonsense, all the insanity of modern media, before you get older and you dive into politics. This comes to a simple time, and all this episode is a simple match. It's the first match. Of course, there's obviously things there, but it's not a big. It's a big deal in the grand scheme of things, but ultimately, this episode isn't that big of a deal. All it is a match. Just Domon's first official match in the tournament. Why don't we start off this episode? Why don't we get into it? So, we open up on, a middle of a match. Simple match. Crowds cheering and everything like that. And we see Hurricane Gundams getting beat up by Zeus Gundam. We end up learning that Zeus Gundam is the favorite to win the tournament. He has just been destroying his opponents left, right, and center, even in the regular match, in the preliminaries or the lead up to the World Tournament. He just decimated opponents one after another. He is a tank. He is a behemoth, and he just strikes down his opponents. And we watch as he ends up calling out Hurricane Gundam for being just too weak, and he's shocked that Hurricane Gundam even got there. Hurricane Gundam's pilot declares him to take it back, and he says no as he begins a special attack. Zeus Gundam begins a special attack, charging in, and you see this chariot. Oh, it is cool. I love I personally love the design of Zeus Gundam. It's not my favorite, but I love how it's so beautiful. The chariot, the Gundam itself, it is such a beautiful looking Gundam. Kind of want one. I kind of want a Gunpla of this. But he's charging into battle. Hurricane Gundam begins to use his special attack, which name is escaping me because he's not that important. But he lands a special attack directly on Zeus Gundam, thinking that he won, but Zeus Gundam just comes charging out of his special attack and lands his special attack, which was Thunder Hammer or Thunder of Judgment, which is a hammer attack that comes swinging down and just destroys Hurricane Gundam in a single hit. You see Zeus Gundam standing over the crowds cheering, and that's when we get the announcer, the show announcer, pretty much telling us, hey, that's the opponent for today. Zeus Gundam in Domon's first official match. And the announcer even says it's not a huge deal, except there's not a whole lot at stake, except for the fact that Domon decided to run his mouth at the opening ceremonies and declare that he's going to win every single match that he does. This episode begins that whole, not a whole lot of people are happy that he did that. And that's pretty much where we left off. That's where we begin this episode. In this episode, I remember this name because it's a change as well. The episode's name was The New Weapon Burning Finger. We get to see a new attack, and it's so beautiful. It's so epic when it unleashes for the first time. Now, as we get into the meat and potato of the episode, we open up on a cityscape and at a hotel. Well, no, this isn't a hotel. This is Wong? I forget his name. The guy who's in charge, the leader of Neo Hong Kong, who's setting up the tournament, and he's prepping some matches. And he's like, "Ooh, that was a good match." Has statues of all the Gundams, Hurricane Gundams flipped over, and he's now trying to figure out who to put up against who next. You see, he has all these. God, I kind of want some of these in real life. He's looking over the Gundams, and he comes across Zeus. Well, Burning Gundam. In Japan, it's called God Gundam. And he decides that this is going to be an epic match, pairing Zeus Gundam up against Burning Gundam. In Japan, it said God, and this is the first time I've noticed this. If you look down here, the dubbers and the editors didn't edit this part out, and it still says God Gundam. I kind of like that little. I like that little thing. So they're paired up together, and I want to say it's Juan, or maybe it's Quan. Anyways, Hong Kong dude says, "What do you think this match is going to be like?" Master Asia, and Master Asia comes out. He's across the room, coming out of this nice little hallway. This nice little area. And Master Asia says this very interesting thing. He says that when lion cubs are growing up, the father or the lion throws its cubs down from a cliff and only recognizes the ones that are able to climb back up. I think it's throw off a mountain, only recognize the ones that come up. So in doing this, the plan is they're just going to pair Domon up with the strongest and best fighters so that he can prove himself to be worthy of competing against Master Asia. There's some reasons for why this plan is going forward. And I can't tell you yet. It's going to be a couple episodes until I can reveal that fun. But in the meantime, Wong, I think it's Wong. Wong is very proud of that. And he likes this idea, and they're going to go forward with it. They're just going to pair Domon up with all these hard matches. We now cut over to, it's another hotel, and I don't think they really establish it that well. Well, we cut over to another hotel. We hear Rain yelling, and Dr. Mikamura and Major Alube hear it. And Rain's yelling at Domon because Domon's anxious. Doesn't really like the hotel, and Rain's like, "I specifically chose this hotel so that you can relax and prepare in between matches. So come on, let's stay here." And Domon's not really interested. As we've seen Domon, he's not all for the gaunt and glamour. He's kind of a rugged dude. And that's a charm of Domon. We do get some of Domon's charm in this episode. And Rain's, pestering him, saying, "Come on, stick around." And Domon doesn't like all this like preparation stuff. He just likes to fight. He's prepared. He wants to just go do his thing. As Domon's walking out of the hotel, Minister dude, whose name is escaping me, I barely even remember him, comes up and tries to talk to Domon and about him and stuff, and Domon just walks past him. And that's when the dude says, "Stop, we got the information of your first fight. You finally have a match." Domon turns around and looks at him, and Domon is informed that his first match will be up against Zeus. In that moment, even Rain's kind of concerned because Zeus is so powerful. Everybody's kind of like, yeah, he's a powerful house, but I think Domon can take him, and Domon's pretty confident in his skills. But even Dr. Mikamura's, concerned, and Domon's like, "Just relax. I got this. Just leave me alone and let me do my thing." And that's what he does. He just walks out of the hotel. Minister's angry at Major Alube because Domon's not taking this seriously enough. And I believe Major Alube's like, "Just calm down. Let Domon do Domon." He just needs time to do his thing, and Rain runs after him. Throughout the city, Domon is now wandering, and Rain has to find her. And she's worried. We cut to a city center. Domon's walking down the street, and as he's walking, he's hearing citizens just talk. Citizens know that Domon's going up against Zeus. They're shocked. They recognize Domon because obviously he's there for the tournament. They're obviously there to either watch him or they live in town and they know about it. You start hearing comments. Start hearing comments about people already placing bets that Domon's going to lose to Zeus Gundam. Everybody's like betting against him, and all this stuff is, it's waning on Domon, but Domon's like, I got this. I got God Gundam. Well, Burning Gundam. I got this new power. I'm fine. I got this. And then he makes it to the docks and he sees this elegant luxury ship. Kind of has a Grecian theme to it, and he recognizes that's Zeus Gundam over there. Domon somehow gets on the ship and approaches it. Don't know how exactly, but he does. And he's just gazing up at Zeus Gundam. And he says, man, that is a very impressive piece of metal, but I can take it. I can take it. And then he hears a voice saying, you're very confident. We see this man just sitting down. The man groans and stuff and stands up, and Domon's like, yeah, I can beat him. I could beat him. And the dude punches Domon directly in the face. And he reveals himself to be Greece's fighter, whose name I am not going to even try to pronounce. All I know is it starts with an M. I think it's like Mikolov. Something like that. And he punched Domon for one reason. He doesn't like arrogant pricks. He finds them childish, and he doesn't like the weak trying to take on the strong. He views Domon's statements at the opening ceremony to be extremely disrespectful. And he declares that he's going to destroy Domon. And he's just going to beat the crap out of him. Domon tries to repay the favor of Greece guy punching him, lands a hit on his face, and it doesn't even faze him. The dude's a towering behemoth. Greek god. And he's dodging Domon perfectly, lands plenty of hits on Domon, stands on him, and then just kicks him into the water. Basically, Domon's there now, drifting away after just being manhandled by Greece's fighter. And this does do something to Domon. We have a small bit of development and an interesting story here, because Domon doesn't really lose. Yeah, we've seen Domon, take some hits from Master Asian, technically lose to Master Asian, the Shuffle Alliance, and the Dark Gundam, but he ended up overcoming all that within the Guyana Highlands. But he doesn't lose the matches. He's never lost a Gundam match. He's only lost the Dark Gundam stuff. So this effect actually has had problems on him. We cut to an area where Rain's calling Dr. Mikamura saying, hey, I haven't found Domon yet. I'm worried and everything. Dr. Mikamura is telling her to calm down, come back to the hotel, because you have preparations yourself for tomorrow that you need to do. And Rain says she's going to look by the water side one more time. Industries like minister dudes all like, I hope they find him. I don't remember exactly what they say. I'll admit I didn't remember that. But we cut back to Domon now just adrift in the water. Not really conscious. We see Rain looking for him, and she almost finds him because Domon's technically just right there, but a boat comes in and separates the two of them. And as Domon's passed out in the water, just floating around, he has a dream. He dreams of battling Zeus Gundam, struggling, his fear, and Zeus Gundam just one-shotting him right away. And he wakes up recognizing that it's a dream. This dream's actually important to Domon and important to the overall story. Domon's terrified right now. He's built himself so high. He's declared himself, I'm going to win all my matches. Then he finally sees his first opponent and realizes that he's kind of outclassed, and he's terrified. He's built up this reputation that I cannot lose, yet he's looking at this opponent saying, I don't know how to beat you. I don't know how to deal with you, and I don't know how to combat you. So I 100% recognize what he's doing. And well, when Domon also wakes up after realizing that was just a dream, he notices that he's not, he's somewhere different. Rushes outside, looks outside, and we see this whole boatyard. Tons of boats, fishing yards. It's the Bay Area of Hong Kong. Domon's just looking out. And he gets greeted by this random old man who was lucky enough. Domon's lucky that he even saved him. And he says, old man says, hello. How are you feeling? And Domon just responds with, where the heck am I? Old man says, hey, simple good morning could have sufficed. You didn't have to come at me so fast. And he's just an old man. And then these two little kids pop up and say, yeah, we saved your life. You could have just at least say thank you and be nice. And Domon recognizes, hey, they saved him. Let's talk. So they have breakfast and they recognize Domon right away. I mean, he's Neo Japan's fighter. They know that he has a fight today. Old man's taking note that something's up. Something's seriously up with Domon. He's not wanting to eat. He's not acting like he's hyped. And the kids are also recognizing him and stuff. And they're having a nice breakfast. And the old man looks at one of the girls, and I cannot remember her name. I just heard it today, so I'll recognize it as time goes on because they say it more and more. This whole family becomes recurring characters. God, I love this. I love this little family. They're so wholesome, and they help Domon. They actually do. But the old man asks the little girl to pass this little vial of what he calls Wonder Bug. A vial of Wonder Bug. And the little girl's like, what? You mean this thing? This thing's only... And he interrupts her as she's trying to respond. And the old man starts talking about the Wonder Bug. And how it's this tiny little bug. Tiny little bug. But it preys on bugs that are bigger and stronger than it. So how does the Wonder Bug do this? Well, the Wonder Bug never gives up. It always goes in there. And that's how it always wins. It might be smaller, weaker, and more fragile, but it is filled with determination and strength. And that's why it's always a winner. And he sprinkles some on his rice and starts eating it, hands it over to Domon. Domon does the same. And that little speech kind of woke something up in Domon. We now get a reporter lady saying, hey, Gundam match starts every 4 years. Second round's about to start, but the problem is Neo Japan's fighter is not there. We have Wong talking about watching the whole thing, eating some candy. We find out that Wong loves sweets. He's always eating something, whether it's chocolate. Right now he's eating Pocky. For those of you who don't know what Pocky is a cookie dish from Asia primarily Japan, I think. And it's cookie dipped in something and they eat it. Actually really good. I like chocolate Pocky the best. Anyways, he's sitting there, he's eating a Pocky stick. And he's talking to Master Asia saying, guess your student's all scared. That's why he's not even here yet. And Master Asia just laughs at him. He says, you don't know my student. You don't know Domon. He'll be here. He'll be here. And we cut back to the boat as it prepares to set sail. Because first off, Domon tells him, hey, can I stay here? Don't like the hotel. Really like this place. And old man's like, yeah. And he says, we have to start getting to the match. And that's what they do. They start getting ready for the match because Domon's all ready and pumped up to fight. They start doing, and I love this scene. He's there on the boat, heading to the match. And as he's heading, you see Saisaishi and Chippity. They come up and they're like, hey, we were waiting for you. We're rooting for you, man. And you get George on the other side, them saying, hey, they're on his team. You see this nice moment of Argo. Argo, who doesn't talk a lot, but he's there to, hey, this is the Shuffle Alliance. These guys are there for each other, no matter what. Argo just gives Domon the simple thumbs up. It speaks volumes, because this is Argo's character. And it shows that Argo does care as well. All the Shuffle Alliance cares. They all had a thing to say, and they're all here for Domon no matter what. And all that does speak volumes to Domon. Domon knows that he's not in this alone. He's perfectly fine. He's got this. And as he's heading up, he sees Master Asia and Wong sitting on their boat to watch. That also lights this fire in Domon that he's going to win. He gets to the burning Gundam, calls it, enters in, and we get this unique opening sequence of him coming in. Compared to the first time we see him getting into Shining Gundam, first time he enters Shining Gundam, it is... I like that first entry of Shining Gundam. It's towards the very end. It's a very unique scene, but it's not as grandiose as this. Like, this is him happy, peaceful, and charismatic, and he has this whole new look about him as he's preparing to fight. Match begins, and it is a doozy. Like, it right away, everybody's shocked at how these two powerhouses are just clashing. And Rain takes note that, hey, everything's fine. He's pairing with Burning Gundam well. And we see him fighting Zeus Gundam, and he has Zeus's chariot in a lock. Like, he is prepared to fight this thing. He is taking it on. He is just taking it head on. And Zeus Gundam is impressed. Like, hey, you're the first one that's ever been able to do this, but I'm going to beat you. And Domon says, you can try. So the battle continues, and Domon tries to shoot him with these new Vulcans, and it's not having any effect. You have cut over to the kids and the little old man, and they start at... Little girl asks, why did you lie to him about the spices? Old man responds, just needed to hear it. Just needed to hear that little story. To be fair, he did. Domon did, and the old man recognized that Domon was in a bad place, and he just needed to hear a helpful story. As Domon realizes, hey, he's struggling to hit him with the Vulcans. And as the Zeus Gundam begins to charge. As Domon realizes he can't hit him, Zeus Gundam's like, I'll take you out. I'm going to take you out right now. Goes in for the Hammer of Judgment attack. And in that moment, Domon remembers the Wonder Bug and says he's not standing now. He's taking it. And he uses his beam saber to slice off the head of the chariot and completely destroy it. Of course, everybody thinks that, hey, Domon just won. And that's when you hear... I think it's from Wong says, hey, I guess he just won. That's kind of boring. And Master Asia says, nope. The match has just begun. And in this moment, you see rising from the smoke, Zeus Gundam in a more perfect form. And he unleashes his thunder attack on Domon, striking him and actually hurting Domon, pushing him to the ground. And we see Zeus Gundam in its full power without the chariot. And Zeus responds, hey, I'm actually impressed. You were the first one ever to be able to destroy my chariot. But because of that now, I'm going to have to take you out, and I'm going to have to destroy you with all the justice I have. And Zeus just starts wailing on Domon. It is brutal. But Domon's just there taking it, and he's like, I'm going to end you now. Domon's there getting his head kicked in, essentially. Everybody's thinking, hey, this is about it for Domon. You have these whole crews thinking it's over. Rain realizes it's not over yet. Wong thinks it's over, and you get this moment that I just love. Master Asia knows it's not over. Because Chippity chimes in saying, nope, it ain't over yet. Trust us, it ain't over. Because our crests are calling, and the Shuffle Alliance is here to root on for him. The king of the Shuffle Alliance. Domon begins to laugh. As he's getting beat in, he begins to laugh. And that laughter is what does it. That laughter is really what does it. Because when he starts laughing, the Grecian guy, whose name I'm not even going to try to say, takes note of that and goes like, what? You're laughing as you're being defeated? In that case, I'm going to destroy you all together. He unveils these magical wings. I love the look of Zeus Gundam. It is a magnificent look. Not my favorite, but still magnificent. Zeus Gundam flies into the air, prepared to just strike down Domon. And Domon starts to get up. Zeus Gundam's coming in, prepares a full power attack. And Domon stands up, yells he's a Wonder Bug again, and just blocks the attack. Just full on takes it with a hand, stopping the attack outright. And that's when Rain tells Domon that he needs to use his finger attack. He has a new special attack. You need to unveil it now. And, Domon does it. Because of his time in the Yana Highlands, he has a new powerful attack. And he does it. And he gets this awesome moment of his chest opening up, and you see the Shuffle Alliance, the King of Hearts crest just blow up. God Ring forms as his little fins open up. And we see his new attack, and I love the animation because he has this glove that comes on, hand begins to burn, and he yells, "This hand of mine is burning red. Its loud cry tells me to grasp a victory." And he unleashes burning, erupting finger right into the gut area of Zeus Gundam. And as he's lifting Zeus Gundam into the air with just one hand, you watch as Zeus Gundam turns red and begins to swell up. Domon yells a new phrase that I'm pretty sure says heat end, but it could be something else. Ring disappears and it explodes. Oh, it's so beautiful. Everybody's shocked. Zeus Gundam, the pilot Grecian guy, falls out and realizes, hey, guess I was a child, bolstering in front of a stronger opponent. And we watch as Domon's there, the king, just winning already. You got Wong there saying, I guess I did underestimate him. But we're going to have fun this match, aren't we? See Domon and them all cheering together. Old Man and them all cheering together. Everybody's happy. And then Domon, I love this part. Domon says, "Thank you for that spice story." Old Man recognizes, oh, he knew it was fake the whole time. Domon just looks at him and they have a nice little laugh. Rain's, mad because she doesn't know anything that's going on. Domon says, nothing real big deal. Let's have some fun. They're going to win. And it's going to be a fun time. I'm not lying when I said I really like this episode. There's something charming about the simplicity of that episode. And I hope you guys found it too. I do hope you guys take the time to go watch G Gundam. G Gundam is a fantastic series. It knows what it is. It's not trying to be anything else. And it is a wonderful time. Please, guys, go watch it. All that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, share it out with friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live, guys. And I will see you all on the next one. Bye for now.